All right, time for another keyboard video. A lot of you guys really enjoyed the last one and you want to see more on the channel, so I figured why not keep the momentum going. Today we are looking at another highly requested keyboard, the TH85 by Epomaker, who's been highly recommended by a lot of you guys from the last video. So I finally pulled the trigger on their brand new TH85, which is supposed to be one of the best bang for your buck 80% keyboards out there. But does it actually live up to the hype? Let's find out.
What's up, Harry?
Hello there.
Jesus, what? Oh my God, why can't you just leave me alone? Get rid of that pesky watermark by activating Windows using a key from VIP or cdkey.com. Instead of paying full price for one, you can get a Windows 10 or a Windows 11 CD key for dirt cheap after using the code TS20. After purchasing the key, all you have to do is go into the user center up top, then navigate to your orders so you can reveal the key. Then simply copy and paste that into the activation settings of Windows and you're all set. Thank you. The packaging it comes in is pretty straightforward. You get a clear plastic dust cover, the keyboard itself, and all your typical accessories. A braided USB-C to A cable, a keycap and switch puller, and some extra switches. Depending on the color variant, you get different stock switches. The white and black model we have here comes with Epomaker's so-called milk blue tactile switches, while the black and white and black-white blue versions ship with linear creamy jade switches. I'm personally not a huge fan of the tactile switches, so I opted for some linear just so we can try them out, specifically the Bluebird switches. And I gave myself a couple of weeks to actually use them properly and get a true feel for them over time. This is, by the way, where Epomaker shines. They're not just a one-trick pony with keyboards. They offer everything from mice to accessories like keycap sets, switches, and even coiled cables. Of course, I had to grab the white one to match my frost white board here, but if you'd rather save the extra $25, the white TH85 already includes a braided white cable that looks great. So you're not really missing out on much here, unless you plan to run entirely wireless, of course. As I already mentioned, the TH85 is an 80% hot swappable mechanical keyboard and it's built entirely out of ABS plastic. Because of that, the case flexes quite a bit if you twist it like this. Not sure why you would want to in the first place. However, it doesn't feel like it's gonna come apart. You have to genuinely put force behind these movements to make it bend like that. For $80, I wouldn't expect an aluminum shell anyway, so this level of rigidity for an old plastic chassis is perfectly acceptable. I'm actually digging the look of this board. The frost white shell pops on any desk, especially on top of a darker mousepad, and because it's a true 80% keyboard, you get all of your navigation and arrow keys, a full function row up top, as well as a full-size shift key. Now, if I compare it to my Keyboom Moonshadow V2, which is my current daily driver, it's only slightly larger, allowing it to fit all the extra keys without cramming them on the side like the Keyboom does. I do have to say I much prefer having a volume knob on the top right corner instead of the print and pause keys, which I never use in my life, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, obviously these keys serve a purpose, but I don't think I've met anyone in my life that actually uses them. On the bright side, the TH85 is fully QMK and VIA programmable, so you can remap those keys to whatever command you like. Connectivity is just as you would expect from a modern board. You get USB Type-C, Bluetooth 5.0, and wireless 2.4 GHz, of course. And what's really cool is that the wireless dongle has its own slot right underneath the left kickstand, so you'll never lose it on the go. That is super smart. Speaking of kickstands, you do get to choose between two different tilt angles, depending on your wrist comfort. However, I do always recommend picking up a wrist rest for the optimal comfort for your hands. We do have wood tones along with our frosted acrylic, which is our best seller. However, do make sure to pick up the 80% version instead, which will cover the full length of the board. You can find these along with our new Season 13 mousepad collection on TechSourceShop.com. Regarding the wireless setup, I'm always used to plug and play, but there's actually one more step required in order to use this keyboard in the wireless mode. When you switch over to 2.4 GHz connection on the back, the R key will start flashing white. That's when you have to hold the function key and the R key together until it starts blinking faster, and only then insert the receiver so it pairs correctly. The Bluetooth connection, on the other hand, is much simpler. Just switch to Bluetooth on the back, then press and hold the function key with either the Q, W, or E to pair up to 3 devices. This keyboard is also compatible with both PC and Mac. There's actually a toggle in the back here that lets you switch between both PCs. However, if you're a Mac user, please note that this keyboard does not come with any command or option keycaps, so that's definitely something to consider. Now, in terms of gaming with the keyboard, I do have to say it's not as snappy compared to my ROG Azoth Extreme, which has an 8,000 Hz polling rate, but then again, the TH85 isn't a $500 board. It might not have rapid trigger or Hall effect, but gaming on the wireless mode has still been enjoyable. Would I queue a ranked match in the finals with this keyboard? Probably not, but I will still play casually with the boys. Besides, my USB hub is right next to me, so plugging it in directly to my PC is not an issue, just a mild inconvenience. RGB, however, is definitely not lacking here, and let me tell you, it is bright. Even under my studio lights, you can see it glow through the gaps between the keycaps. Beyond that, there's an individually lit Epomaker logo right here on the side, as well as a light strip wrapping around the back. It's got this gray grill-like design, which I kind of dig, but the RGB itself felt a bit too much. So I just turned it off, which also helps squeeze more life out of the battery. To do that, just hold function and press delete to cycle between the effects and eventually turn it off. Same deal for the logo light with the function plus the N key. Everything else is quite intuitive. Function home toggles the backlight, backspace cycles through the effects, arrow keys change the brightness and speed, and something that I haven't seen on any other keyboard before, page up and page down adjust the color saturation. Pretty cool. Also, to check the battery life of your keyboard, all you gotta do is hold the function and the enter button to light up the keys from 1 to 0, just like how it did on my Keyboom board. The 4,000 milliamp hour battery lasted me about 6 days on a single charge with RGB off, and around 2 days of heavy use with RGB on. If you look underneath the hood, as I mentioned, the white version comes with tactile milk blue switches. All of them, including the stabilizers, come pre-lubed, which is nice. Flipping the board over and removing the 6 hex screws, I was able to dig into the meat and bones of the keyboard, and I was able to find a silicone dampening mat underneath, followed by a gasket-mounted polycarbonate plate. But enough talk, let's get the sound test going. Obviously, everyone has their own personal preference when it comes to switches, so I'll let you guys be the judge in the comment section and down below. But I'm definitely leaning more towards the cleaner travel from the Bluebird switches. Either way, both of these sounded pretty damn good, which I didn't expect from a budget board. I mean, sure, $80 isn't necessarily cheap, but compared to, let's say, its Keyboom counterpart here, in terms of acoustics, it's remarkably close at half the price. And right now, you guys can actually get 10% off this keyboard if you use the code TS10 at checkout. These sky blue side printed keycaps are absolutely beautiful, by the way. Like, this is not my color scheme in any means, but I think I'm gonna keep it on this board just because it looks so damn clean. The side printed legends on them are actually transparent compared to the default switches. So even in the dark with RGB on, you'll always know exactly what key you're pressing. If you really want to get the most out of the TH85, as I mentioned before, you can use VIA. Just download the JSON file from Epomaker's official website, unzip it, upload it on VIA, and you'll be able to remap every single key like I did here. Basically remapping the pause and print keys into volume up and down. If I had to summarize, I'm pleasantly surprised. The TH85 is a killer value. You could probably build something custom at this price with all these features, like hot swap, gasket mount, tri-mode wireless, and loop switches, but A, you need to know what the hell you're doing in the first place, and B, you're gonna need the time. And last I checked, both of them are luxuries which a lot of people still don't have. Will this replace my current Moonshadow V2 on my main setup? Probably not, because I do love the premium look and feel of the Moonshadow V2 a lot more, but it does deserve a spot on my pegboard as a backup keyboard. Bottom line, it's still a solid pick if you're diving into the mechanical keyboard rabbit hole or you just want a budget-friendly board that ticks most boxes. I'll drop a link to the Epomaker TH85 down below if you guys want to check it out. As always, if you're enjoying the keyboard videos on the channel, consider tossing a like and let me know what keyboard I should check out next in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.